Want to tell you about one of our partners, Quetzal Education Consulting. Quetzal Education Consulting is a queer, Black, and Indigenous women-owned firm offering anti-racist consulting, PD, coaching, keynotes, workshops, and more. Their newly released Abolitionist Teaching Workshop series coaches and prepares teachers to further develop abolitionist practices in the classroom. Find out why they have been called the future of educational justice by Dr. Bettina Love. You can book a free consultation with Quetzal by calling 510-397-8011 or visiting quetzalec.com. That is QUETZALEC.com. And if you mention you heard about them through Two Dope Teachers, you will receive a 5% discount on their Abolitionist Teaching PD series. Once again, you can book them by visiting quetzalec.com on their Connect With Us page.
Welcome back, everybody. We have made it to dun, 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 Season 2, Episode 1 of the Exit Interview. I am Kevin Adams, and I'm joined by my host.
How's everyone doing out there? Can you believe it? Season 2 already, Kevin?
I am so excited for this. After Season 1 and all of the things that we learned and all the amazing stories that we have heard, you know, I'm telling you, Season 2, we'll see what maybe the finale episode will be my announcement that I'm the next guest on the Exit Interview Season 3, but we'll see.
We'll have me, Kevin. Don't play with me.
We'll just have to keep people listening for the whole season to find out, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So can you tell us, Kevin, about our first guest of the season?
Our first guest. This guest is going to be unique, different, because this Exit Interview is not by choice, and meaning that the person did not choose to leave like many of our Exit Interviews, but this one is definitely impactful and inspiring. Today, we are lucky enough to have with us Coach Tony Lindsay, who was the coach of the Montbello Warriors football team, and unfortunately has recently been non-renewed after being forced to rehire for his job at Montbello High School. And so for those of you who might not be in the Denver area or might not be familiar with the Montbello High School and the challenges that the community has faced, Montbello was a community comprehensive high school that was shut down because of poor performance, like how it happens in many schools around this country. And it was, they opened up multiple schools in the area. It's a cooperative. So there are multiple high schools. I think Coach Lindsay will tell us that there's 9 different high schools in about a couple 1 to 2 square mile area. And Montbello High School had to compete with those schools. And what it did was really pulled apart the high school. And Coach Lindsay was able, through hard work and tons of effort, to build a program that not only was successful, but won a state title. And now, go ahead.
And he talks about this idea of the community being splintered by the school breaking up into 9 different schools, and like all the effort that he and his team and so many people in the community had to go through to bring that team back together, to bring the athletics program back together, all the way down to like his teams not having showers for them to use, for the schools not having a library, and how he was able to, with his team, advocate for those things for the young men on his football program. And so a very moving interview, I'd say, right, Kevin?
Definitely. If this one doesn't get you hyped up, to get involved, I don't know what will. I am so inspired and so touched by all the things that Coach Lindsay said. I could see, Asia, I don't know, but this is how I felt. I was like, no wonder he's a great coach. Like I was feeling coached up and ready to go
For
out.
sure.
And as Gerardo says, run through walls.
Yeah, for sure. I was moved by this interview, and I just wish nothing but the best for him. And his community is going to be at a loss if we can't figure something out and get him back where he belongs, in front of students, in front of athletes, in front of families and community and parents. So,
All right. Well, with no further ado, let's get on to season 2. Here is our interview with the great, the eminent Coach Tony Lindsay. Hope y'all enjoy it.
let's go.
All right, folks, we are here with our guest for today, Coach Tony Lindsay Sr. Let's get his name right, folks. Coach, we are glad to have you with us here on the exit interview today. So I guess if you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, your educational journey, and what made you decide to become an educator?
I'm gonna start you back where I was beginning with me. I like a lot of young men, I was a football player and I wanted to go pro. I love football. That's where it all started at. From coming from Little League to high school, I went to Thomas Jefferson High School back in the 70s. I graduated in 77.
All right.
From there, I was I was a pretty good football player, in high school. I went on to college. I walked on at the University of Utah.
All right.
And and after a week, they gave me a full ride scholarship. And my journey led me to the Denver Broncos. And I got waived there and ended up playing in Canada for 3 years. All this is going by. And by the time I got done in Canada, I had 4 sons.
Yes.
Yeah, I had 4 sons. And so when I got done there, it was time to come home and raise them. And so all my whole life was just been football, along with me and my brother. Both of us just football. And coming up, that's the one thing that I go to is like going to college, it was an awesome opportunity and getting there because we couldn't afford it. But I was able to take care of that just by the scholarship. I wasn't able to hook, connect in the league long enough to make the money that some of them make. So when I got back out, the first thing I thought about was, I got these sons, it's time to start getting them going and raising them. And the one thing I did know how to do is play some football, and that was the journey that I started going through with my 4 sons. And I remember coming back my last year up in Canada, and my oldest was playing football. And I went out there and watched. And he actually, he dropped the pass that lost him the Super Bowl. And everybody was mad at him.
Oh, wow.
I think about that. Yeah, it was one of those like TV shows where it was, if they had something, they would have threw it at him.
Yeah.
And that time right there, it's like, it's time to start taking care of my boys. And I started coaching. I started coaching in Little League, and I actually coached 5 years there, and I coached all my sons. And I went on to high school. I went back to my alma mater. That was TJ. I enjoyed being at TJ. When I went in there, it was in 74. That was the first year of busing.
Yes.
So it was it was, and it was huge. You know what I'm saying? It was huge, but it was needed, and left a lot of friends got out of that. Anyway, going back to my boys, they all went through TJ. I had it all set up. Okay. When that first one was going to, on his way out of middle school, I was going to be coaching in high school. So I started coaching at Thomas Jefferson in 1990.
Okay.
And my son came up in there. 1994 is Tony's first year there. And all four of my sons ended up going through TJ. I coached at TJ for 10 years. And I left TJ after that, after they all went through. And I coached at Montbello from 2003 to 2006.
Shout out to
And
the
finally,
Bellows Warriors.
yes, I went out exactly, and I was an assistant head coach at that time, and
All
we
right.
had a coach there named Oliver Lucas, a very good coach. He's a mentor of mine, and I followed him from TJ to Montbello, and thought I was going to get that head coaching job, but it didn't work out like that. Didn't work out like that. It wasn't meant for me then. But a couple weeks later, South High opened up, and I applied for that job, and that was my first head coaching job at South High School in 2007.
Okay.
And I was there for 10 years I was there. But, when I left Montbello, it was a very hard school. Real hard school. The kids were hard. You know what I'm talking about. But it took a little while for me to get used to, because it was so hard in there and the kids were hard. But I fell in love with the school and the kids there. There's more to it than what people knew. You would have to be in there to understand what was going on, and it was going on with our kids. And I hated it that I didn't get that job, but an opportunity opened up for me, and I went to South. And I stayed there for 10 years, but in the back of my mind, I'm going to come back here. I'm back here. That's how I felt. And, during that time, had a awesome 10 years at South High School. All my sons at the time had grown up, and they are with me. They've been coaching with me for like 15 years now, all four of them. And,
oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dynasty.
And so
Dynasty.
that's most of my staff there. That's why we're good mentors. And what I poured into my sons and a lot of their friends is what they brought back after they went to college and got their degrees and all that. A couple of them teaching, they all came back and were pouring it into these young men coming up. And a lot of my coaches, they have their own different ways and styles, but they're all just like I raised them. And with that being said, our kids, it's like the energy of us goes through our kids, and we just keep rolling. You know what I'm saying? So that's all of our passion, is that just to be able to give back to the young men, especially young men of color. Everybody knows about that. And it's like they need mentors. They need that. So when my sons came back, I was really happy that they chose to come back and follow that and give back like they should. And that's what we've been doing.
That's awesome.
They came to South with me. We all grew up there, and we all, I was really upset when I was at South. I mean, at Montbello, that they didn't give me that job. I was so mad because I wanted to be the head coach there. But, some years later, I started understanding, and, understand I love God, and he works in strange ways. About 3 or 4 years into that South High School, I was like, I see why that happened. I needed to grow.
Yeah.
I needed to grow to be able to handle what he had in store for me. And so when I found that out, I actually went back to some of the people I was really upset over. I pretty much told them about themselves and how I felt. But I actually went back and found them and apologized, because I found out it was for a reason. And they may not have known. They didn't know. But I found that it was for a reason, and they had to do what they had to do for me to come and grow and then come back to Montbello ready to handle the mess that was done out here in Montbello Green Valley Ranch when they splintered the community.
That's
when
right.
They closed that high school. They splintered our community bad.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And so coming in and seeing it when I started coaching, right when I got here, it was more of a mess than I thought. It was it was just tore up. You know, the first thing I did when I came in was they had two little league teams, the Giants and the Falcons out here. And I was like, I got to get hold of them because there was no kids. I had like 16 kids when we first came out here that first year.
Mhm.
That's what I had. I got a picture of it. I always have. And I went to those little league coaches, and it had been so messed up out here. They had 4 coaches in 4 years before I got here that the little leagues were feeding their kids to Vista Peak. It was the Montbello Falcons were feeding all their little league kids to Vista Peak, which is in Aurora.
Mhm.
And then the Green Valley Ranch Giants were feeding their kids to Cherry Creek.
Oh,
And so coming in and talking to them, they were, well, you know, pretty much, no, we got it all set where our kids are going to go coach, but in the future, we'll see what we can do. And I'm sitting here like, you know what? Can I talk to their parents? You know, let me talk to their parents. And so I didn't get, they didn't help me out with that at all because, you know, they had other things. They were offered jobs and stuff like that at the different schools. So then they're taking the kids with them. That's how it is. You know, that's how
yeah.
it works like that. You know, and so we had to come in and then just started fighting for everything. You know, you come in as a football coach and it's like, okay, first thing I saw out there on that football field was no lines on the turf. There was no lines. It's like, what's going on? You know, you guys understand out here is it's a co-op.
Yep.
And what they mean by that is a co-op. There's 9 schools. There's 9 small high schools out here. When they closed Montbello, they made 9 of them with the charter schools.
All in the same building.
They call that a co-op.
All in the same building, right?
They all left out of Montbello High School, and it's all 9 different high schools, like with a mile apart.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Within that little area. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
No, I mean in Montbello Green Valley Ranch, they're like a mile apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so nothing like this in the country. There's nothing like this in the country. Okay. And you come out here and it's like, okay, the first school we get out of school at 2:45. The last school gets out at 4:15. We all meet at Montbello, the high school Montbello, because that's where our locker room and, you know, our headquarters is there. That's where we practice. Well, you have to really think about this. It's like by the time they got there 4:30, 4:45, daylight saving times would come, you know, and no more sun. It was dark out there at that time when they show up. Yeah. There was no light. There was nowhere for us to practice at night. And so I'm asking, what have you guys been doing? Well, they've been renting these lights they use on the highways. They rent those lights out and they would roll them out there and turn them on so they could practice. What a shame. It was just not cool. You understand? Coming from South High School, we got what we wanted there.
Yep.
You know, and we got, you know, and you're sitting here, you're like, okay. And my head is like, we need study hall. How do I get all my kids to study hall? They're at 9 different schools, 9 different counselors, 9 different principals. How do you do this? You know, and that was the next question. Because, you know, you start losing, especially the freshmen when they come in. They don't know nothing about no high school and eligibility and all that.
Yep.
And then they're at all these different schools. They don't, in one school, you can go. I worked in the school at South, so I can go up and get them and we can work with the teachers and get our kids all together. You know, you can't do that out here. You know, I didn't take a job in one of these schools out here because if you're stuck in there and you have to go to some other school to see about one of your players, you don't have no time. Can't just leave out of working here and just go down to this school. So I didn't get no job out here. I came out here and I was like, no, I'm not going to get in the schools because there's 9 schools I got to go to find out what's going on with my kids. Because that first year we lost almost the whole freshman class and they were in all 9 different schools. Couldn't get them. Didn't find them tutors. So you guys, I'm just trying to fill you in on how it was just coming out here to this straight mess. And then in our locker room, there was no showers. The showers were gated up and they used it for storage. They were storing equipment in our locker room showers, whether the boys showered or not. Have an
Wow.
opportunity to go in there, be able to shower. It wasn't none. You know, so that's what started this. I know you guys probably know Brandon Pryor. I know
Yep.
he's out there, and then Gabe Lindsay is my one son. He's like my man. I have 5 sons, and that's my. He's just like I am. We argue a lot, you know, but he's headstrong. That's what started this whole thing with Brandon Pryor and Gabe. It was not right out here. Our kids
Yep.
were not being done right. There was no library in Montbello High School. There was not a library in there. Where the library was, you know, like I said, I worked there 4 years. It was broken up in 3 little classrooms that they were using. What a shame, y'all. And then, you know, and like I said, I came out there as a football coach, but like, this is not no, you don't do that to our kids. You know, we're there. They have opportunity like anybody else does. And so that's where the fight started, right there. All the way up to now, that's where it started, you know. And for us, I knew coming in, I said, how is this football team going to survive? You know, we started with 16 kids, and the little leagues were being pushed out to other schools, not even in a district. In other districts, they were just pushing them out there. And it's like, you guys, we got to start our own, we got to get our own feeder team. So we started a feeder team. We call it Warrior Nation. We started our own feeder so we can start getting our kids to start coming and staying, not really coming, because all the kids were from out here. They were just going out of the district, go to other schools to stay here. And we did start that, and it started doing good for it, but it took time, you know, it took time. And in my mind, I'm like, you know, what's really going to help us? The only thing for us to do, when you're in a situation like this, you got to win. I don't care what you do. You can have pretty uniforms, give all the money in the world. I don't care what you have to win, you know?
Yeah.
And man, we ended up winning. However it was, we won. You know what I'm saying? We went and we took state and we won. And then that taking state was cool. But on my mind, all I wanted to do was win back this community.
That's right.
And win back kids. That's what I wanted. And that's what I got out of it. So understand this last year after we won, dang, the year's not even up. You know, that was the longest football season ever. It has been because of the pandemic.
Yep.
You know, we played our league, we won, and I coached track too. We went 2 months in track and we were right back in football, and we just got done with this last season. It was just, everything was connected. It was the longest season ever. But with that being said, these freshman kids that came in, these are the ones that's been getting away from us.
Yep.
We kept them this year. We were able to keep them. Well, my freshmen went like 10-0. I lettered 13 of those freshmen. That means when I say that, they played varsity for me. You know, that's how good they were. And these are our ones out here in Montbello, Green Valley Ranch. They didn't get them, the Cherry Creeks and this.
That's right.
They didn't get those kids. We kept them. Our kids won. So all we're doing right here is just building our program. And for me, this is an awesome thing. This was our first year that we had a C team, and that's just a freshman team. So it took 5 years to build till we just have a freshman team. Otherwise, we only had 2 of them because we didn't have enough guys. And we were playing 5A. When we walked out there all together with 60 kids, all 3 levels, well, we were walking out there and had 120. Cherry Creek has 145, 150. You know, we were playing 5A. That alone was not fair. You understand?
Yep.
Not saying that they're of course they're better. They got 170 kids, 160 kids. Who are we kidding? We got 60 all together for 3 teams. Like I said, I lettered 13 freshmen. Who does that? I had 6 seniors. Most of the teams, when you start, you know, when you have a team, when your seniors are graduating out, maybe 22, a lot of teams, 28 kids a year. They're graduating 28 seniors a year and bringing in 30 juniors to go be seniors. Well, heck, I graduated last year 9, And this year we graduate 6 seniors. That shows
Wow.
you where we were at. Yes, just six
Yeah.
seniors. We ended up like with 40 freshmen this year. So that's where we're at with that. But we still won. That's the whole thing. And you know what? We have 3 of our seniors this year out of the 6 going to college on football scholarships. We have, in the last 5 years, double digits in the 20s of the kids who have had opportunity to go and play college football, but get an education. That's what you
Yes.
use that for. That's just a vessel. This football stuff, or who are we kidding, man? This is off the chain. And whatever the kids can get out of it, they need to, because all it takes is one hit and they're done. You're done.
That's right.
So, but it's a vessel for them to go and get their education. And so when we teach that, we teach that to our kids. You know, to me, football is so past football. To me, I've been doing this long enough to know it's not about football. It's about taking care of your kids and raising them and helping their parents if you can, and making them into good people, good fathers. That's what we're about. You know, the football is a football, and we're going to teach that. But it's way past that, because we want our kids to succeed. We are mentors. You know, like I was telling them, you know, my interview is like at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Have you ever had a kid call you?
4 o'clock in the morning.
I haven't.
Not 4 o'clock. I've had late nights, not 4 o'clock.
Yep. Yeah. But hold on. Hold on. You guys have to excuse me.
You're good, coach.
Sorry about that, y'all. I just started
You're fine.
thinking. Anyway, when I'm saying 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, they call you and tell you they're going to kill themselves. Or they've ran away from home. Or nobody loves them.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't know how deep this is. And as a coach, that's given his life to these kids, how people can come in and, because of self, wreck what's going on out here for a community and kids to succeed. And then you get selfish people that that's the hard part to me, y'all. If you don't like me, it's good. That's fine. That's fine. I don't like you either. But it's not about me. It's about the kids and the community that surrounds us. You know, the school is supposed to do for the kids in the community, not the kids do for the school.
That's right.
With that being said, it's like whatever is good for the community, you know, should be good. And the community should have a word in everything that goes on in the community. And not those certain people walk in and say, this is what's going to be done here. And that's it.
That's
Doesn't
right.
work like that. The minute our community wakes up and sees it doesn't work like that, then we'll start being like Cherry Creek is. You will not go in there and do nothing like this in Cherry Creek. You won't do like nothing like this in any other league, city, or it won't happen in their communities. In our community, just need to come together with Latino, Black, and they need to come together and we need to work with each other and don't let people come in and tear us down.
That's right.
You know? So that's kind of pretty much my story. You know, I don't want to get into it because I'm not bashing, you know.
Yep.
I feel what I feel, but I'm not here to bash it, you know, bash nobody. But if they're thinking like I am, you know, even in my little interview, one of them, it was like, after telling you guys everything we kind of went before we went in, from being coaches to fighting for the school and fighting to get Montbello open back up and fighting for these are we're football coaches. But this is our community and these are our kids and we care about them. It's not football, it's not only football, it's a whole community and all the kids. They should have an opportunity to have a school out here, a traditional school, comprehensive as they call it, school for these kids to go to where they can learn everything that they do at Cherry Creek, like it was before they closed it, you know. So the kids should have opportunity to do that. And I'm glad that the school's going to open back up.
Yes.
Just don't want to open up and I don't want it to open up and fail.
No.
You know, out here now, just looking at this is like I said, I'm talking football coach, but I'm talking as a person that lives out here.
Yep.
And it's my community too. It is 85% Latino out here in our community. And that's the way it's going to be when Montbello. It's not the Montbello when you were there or when I was there. If the demographics has changed and it's 85% Latino, with that school opening up, I'd love for them to have all the opportunity in the world to succeed with the kids that are out here now too. And so I would love for, Denver Public Schools to look at what they're doing here. And what I'm saying is, where are our Latino leaders at?
Mm-hmm.
I'm being real. You talking about education? No, I'm not a teacher or none, but I'm here, and I've been in the schools for 30 years, and I see what I see. Where are our Latino leaders at? It's 85% Latino. Give them an opportunity to go in and see that it's a school. I know you guys taught me about the football. I'm just my mind goes a lot.
And Coach Lindsay, I would never disagree with I would never disagree with anything you say, but you are definitely an educator.
Yes.
And you a powerful educator, and what hits me about your story and your experience is how we come into education, and how we're drawn into our community and the issues of our community become our issues, right? And like
right.
you saw the unfairness and the, modern Jim Crow that was going on at Montbello High School, where, separate was definitely not equal, right? And for whatever intention, but we know it was happening there, where the kids didn't have the same facilities. And even coming from South High School, it was probably very shocking, because we know what South High School is like, not to say that they have all the resources.
Very, very shocking. Yes. Yes. Yes, that's exactly. I walked in, I was like, oh no, this is not how it was where I came from. This is not cool. And these kids are the same as those kids.
That's right.
It was like the kids are kids. And now we're in my community out there. South at the time, they didn't really accept us around there too much. You understand?
Yep.
It was different there. It's a different community. Let's
Yep.
be real.
Yep.
After some flags up around there were East High flags on the streets in South. So they called us refugee camps and all that. It was, it wasn't like they had a community out there that was foreign, okay? But we were taken care of in that school. The kids were taken care of. We had top line facilities there. Then you come out here and it's like, quit it. Wow. What's up?
No
like
showers.
I said, this is, like I said, oh man, yeah, then that's real. That's real. That's when we came back and we went back up to that school board, and who the superintendent Boasberg actually came out here.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and we walked through. We walked through with him, and about 10 other people came with him and showed him heads on, this is what's up. And all he could do is put his head down.
Mm.
He put his head down. And they did it within the next 2 days. They had that shower room up, and they were fixed on it. We had lights and stuff coming soon. It's not like they didn't do it, but it was never should have been like that anyway.
They had to be shamed into doing it. They had to be shamed into doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's what went on. Like I said, I'm one of those. It took me like 15 years to become a head coach because of my mouth. I was told, I say what I say, I think out loud, I talk out loud. What I say to people think I say it. But that's how I feel, and I'm real. I'm not trying, never do try to hurt no one saying what I say. And then some people, they hurt people. They don't understand, but they hurt people the way they do without saying anything. And then people who talk up like Brandon, they think he's the worst thing in the world because he talks up. But you know what? He does talk up, and he says all kinds of things. Everybody knows that. But what did you do? He just has words and he's talking. Look at Montbello High School. You shut it down.
That's right.
From underneath everybody. But that's okay. It's bad. He got the bad mouth. It's okay. You shut the school down and open up 12 other schools out here. The school that was supposed to be Green Valley Ranch High School turned into 3 charter schools. But Brandon's big mouth. Oh, he talks too much. I mean,
he's the problem.
Yeah, he's the problem. But we don't have no showers. We don't have no lights. We don't have no library. Oh, come on. Who are we kidding? But he's the problem. No, he's not the problem.
And it makes me think of your story, like you said, football is what got you through. It's the thing that, and I think about so many of my students who are like that football, soccer, basketball is what gets them through. That's why they show up every day. And then to think that, there is a role of athletics, like at my school, we are an international studies school, so we don't have our own athletic program. So a lot of kids go over to West High School and they play over there. And so I think that's great, but we deal with the same stuff about like and luckily at our school, our teachers are willing to let kids out early so they can make it to practice and games. But it destabilized. I go back your point about these people who have destabilized the community, right? They do things that made did things so that whatever was left of Montbello couldn't survive. It couldn't win. You had to come back and build it back up and attract people to stay over there, because they didn't understand what the people wanted either.
Yeah. And without their support, like you said, the Little League coaches were not even trying to support what you were trying to do to build the community back up.
Right. And that's because, and you know what? just not to take up for them too, but they had 3 head coaches. They had 4 head coaches like in 4 years. So there was no stability there. You understand? Yep. So I understand the parents saying, oh, heck, I'm not sending my kid there because look at that mess. So I do understand that.
Yep.
But we came over, and we came over with a track record of winning flat out at South High School. We won. We were the last 6 years, we were top 3 in the state. For 6 years, we went to state. You know what I'm saying? So we knew what to do. Just get in behind us and let's start keeping us at home and let's get this. You guys been out here in Montbello. You guys know what's going on, just like I do. Let's get together. But it wasn't. They didn't latch on to that. So we ended up bickering back and forth with them, and then getting our own little feeder team, and and here we are.
Yes. I mean, I think that's important. I think, again, it goes back, and I think a lot of times we diminish the value of athletics. I think the most popular people in the school are the coaches. Like with students go to coaches all the time, and
the influence of coaches on the students it always amazed me as a teacher. I could have students who didn't get things done or got to class late, but as soon as my coach wants to know how I'm doing, it was up to the straight and narrow. They were getting themselves together. So you're right. You're absolutely right, Kevin.
Yeah, you are right about that, because like when I was working in South High School, I worked in that office. Those teacher would call me at any other time, Coach, could you come up? Man, who are we kidding? And you know what is so funny? Because some of the teachers would ask, how could you talk to them like that? And they listen to you. They don't listen to us, and so on and so on. It's like, it's the relationship.
That's right.
It's the relationship that those kids come in. And like I said, when you get them calling you at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning about all these different things, you're like, oh my gosh, what's next? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've buried my kids, and but you know what, you guys are sitting in these offices and stuff, and you guys don't. We are hands on.
Mm-hmm.
We are social workers, and we are counselors, and we are fathers, and we are everything.
That's right.
We're everything. And I sit here, man, y'all. You gotta know, hey, I cried, but I am a crybaby though. I got that from my dad. But when my feelings, I did. My feelings are deep. And so when I start talking about my kids, and when I say my kids, I'm talking about 30 years of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I start talking, all these things that's running my head of the things that went on. And out here in the 5 years, more than the 25 years before I came out here, in 5 years, I had more going on out here in Montbello Green Valley Ranch. It is so deep. And like I said, when people come in and they don't understand what's going on out here, it's not just the doggone football, man. To me, Coach, for yourself, football's not the only sport, but it's a big sport. And football has the biggest kids and the toughest kids that are in your school in it.
That's right.
And when you get those kids with me, I say, okay, I'm going to help my school. This is where I'm at with this. And at 3 else, I'm going to help my school. When I get my kids out there to practice, we have talks. I always have talks with my kids about everything, just life. And then when you guys get into that school, you guys represent us. And when you get in there, you help your school to succeed. When you see things are not right and kids are not doing right, or something's going to go on, you guys, man, I hope that you guys grow up and hear what we're saying and try to help us in there with your school to keep things settled, because they truly can. They know the kids better than we know the kids. And I said, I'm not sitting out here telling you go rat on your friends, but I'm telling you to love your friends. If you love your friends and you know your friends could get hurt or killed or something like that, you need to come say something. Mm-hmm. You need to say something to somebody if you love your friend. Or either your friend's going to be dead and you're not going to live right for the rest of your life, or they're going to go to prison. And in the back of your mind, you're going to say, I knew I should have said something to stop this. And so we teach our kids not to so-called they're not rats, man, but we know how to take care of them if they come. And how many of them have came and told us, and we were able to stop. And this is stuff not even pertaining to football. We go into the school and stop whatever it is what we're supposed to do. So when these educators come in and they do something like they've done, like now, you don't understand what you lost. It's not a football coach. You lost coaches that care about everything about this school and this community. When we get done, we don't get in our cars and drive 30 minutes to your house. I get in my car and I drive 4 minutes. I go right down, and 6 of my coaches do the same thing. That's community.
Yep.
You understand? We do everything in this community, and we want our community to thrive just like Cherry Creek or anyone else's community. So when you educate come in that don't know the community, and you do something like this to me and my coaches are community. This is our community. So no matter what, it's still our community. And to have someone come in and pierce it like that, I talked about splintering. That's splintering the community again.
Yep.
It's splintering it. It's like, can't you see this? I don't care what you think about me, because it ain't about what you think. It's about what's good. And if you're thinking what's good, you're thinking what's good for you too. This is good for you. But they're not thinking. And I'm hurt over it. That's all. I'm hurt over it. And I'm hurt for my kids. You guys got quiet on me.
No, we let it marinate. Let it marinate.
Yeah. I'm
it's
just
real.
really
It's just
thinking
real.
it is, and I'm just thinking about this, the impact that you all have. I'm not going to say had. I don't want to say had, but I want to say have. And you're right. When people outside the community come in and start moving things around and not considering all the pieces and all the work and all the relationships and all the things, and just figure they know best. It's just starts so many things from scratch. It breaks up so much trust that's been built. And I feel like that's just happening all over the US.
Splinter. You just splinter it.
Yes.
It's like you're because of your own selfish, whatever it may be, is something selfish and it's not right. It's not right. All we did was take state, get 3 levels of football, and win our league. What reason was that to get rid of your coach? So the stuff I think about is like, give me a good reason. I just want to hear, and I haven't got one yet when they call me and say, hey, we went another direction or whatever it was, and why? Because of what? I haven't got an answer yet. And the way it was done was not cool. They waited on Friday. Here's break day Friday. You call me, and we'll call you on Friday. And they say this. And then when my kids get information during this break, they've been going cuckoo. I had to call we had a awards banquet a couple of days ago, just to bring my parents in and my kids, because my kids and parents were going ape shit, you guys. I mean, what do we do? I'm transferring this. I'm doing. You see what's happening? That's just ripping already. It's just starting to just rip here into what we have and we built. And that hurts me like it hurts my heart so bad. And there's no answers. I can't answer them anything. Well, why so and so? I don't have them. They didn't tell me anything. They just told me we're going in another direction. And it wasn't me. So click. Done. So we're here 2 weeks. Don't know anything. And my parents and kids are just out there. How unprofessional. How unprofessional. Be professional. Be transparent. Like you say, when you come in and you're you're going to open up this new school. If you want power or whatever it is, you earn it. You earn it, like you say, you earn it from the community. You come in and you show the community that you're about listening to them, and no, this is not listening to them. Not at all.
Coach Lindsay, I just want to back up a little bit so that our audience can really understand like what happened. Again, on the exit interview, typically it's the educator who walks away from the school or the whatever it is because of some incident. But your situation is so different. Yeah, your situation is so different in that you were pushed out of your position right before winter break. Friday of winter break. And so I'd like you, if you can do this, just kind of start that part of the story over again about what happened on that Friday. And then again, like how right now, as we're recording this is winter break, where this is December 31st, 2021. Like what is happening in the community right now? Could you just repeat that a little bit, please?
Okay, I was called on Friday, somewhere around 2 or 3 o'clock, and told that, I wasn't going to be the Montbello's head coach next year. They did at 3, and I asked, what's up? Why not? Well, it wasn't my decision. And pretty much after that, we were off the phone. Well, this was Friday at that time, and kids were gone. When the kids found out, they found out from us. It was the school didn't put out anything. And when they found out, they went cool. I mean, that's all I could say. The parents are upset. The kids are upset. They want to transfer their kids out right now. It was just so unprofessional. The kids had nowhere to go. And they don't understand this. And these are educators, and these are the ones that are going to open up the school and be leaders. This is leadership. It's not how you leadership when you started out by hurting my kids. You hurt my kids. You didn't hurt me. I'm hurt because of, but you hurt my kids. You hurt my families. And you hurt the community. You weren't transparent like you said you were. The school's not even open yet. You've already splintered it. It's not even open yet. It's not. And you've already done that to my kids. And see, if you don't want me, I want you. But it's not about us. It's about the community and the kids. And look what you've done to them. And you want to be a leader in this community? That's not get the power that you want. And you owe the community answers. You owe answers. I mean, you did it. Put your big draws on and answer it for real. Why?
That's right.
I want to know why my said. Why? That you owe it to them. Tell them. I want to hear too. So when they learn, I'm going to learn right with them because I wasn't told to. It's you earn the power that you're after. You earn the power that you're after. So if we got too much power to you, it's because we love our community and we love our kids and they love us back. You learn from that.
So like I said before, at our school, we don't have any coaches, we have middle school coaches. So at a high school, I'm unfamiliar, but does a principal hire the coaches? How is a coach hired at the high school level?
You know what? This is the first. It's interesting you asked that because I've been on like 4 or 5 interviews throughout my 30 years, and this is the first one I've never been through an interview like this. Okay, and I'll never forget it. It's usually, they'll have a panel, and they'll have a panel that has some teachers. You'll have some from the football players. You'll have some students. You'll have you'll have some other coaches like the volleyball coach, track, whatever. That's the panel, and that's the panel that they use at every interview I ever been. They have those people up there. It's like, okay, you get the community. The community's involved with it and everything. Not this one. This one wasn't, you didn't have community in it. And the ones who made the decisions were the admin. The admin made the principal, assistant principal, athletic director. They made the decision for this one, you know, and even with that being said, they gave us like these tests. You guys have to understand something. I've been coaching 30 years football. I played it all my life.
Yes.
The first question on this test was, who invented football?
Wow.
I was done. I mean, really, I was, you know what? The other ones were, how long is the football field? Offense and defense are out on the field where that line right there is the line of scrimmage. This is what an insult. You know, who are we kidding? This is how you want to find your head coach, your football coach. So I scribbled down on all the little, you have to scribble the dots, and I scribbled every dot and turned it in. I was done with that test. That then was supposed to be chalk talk. Y'all understand something? A chalk talk. First of all, you talk with me. Make sure you're another coach that understands football when you come chalk talk. So who is to give me this chalk talk? They ended up not doing the chalk talk at all. It's like, how are you guys? So this is how you're gonna. Man, I have already been to state twice, and I've done nothing but win. And so, who's gonna chop me? And what are we gonna do it for? What's up? You know, and that's just kind of stuff they're doing. You know, they were doing that. It was not regular. And at the end of the day, the admin chose community not involved.
Huh.
So they were having you.
So they owe.
I'm sorry, Coach Lindsay, to cut you off. They were having you, just to be clear, before Friday, they had you re-interview for your job. Is that correct?
You know what? Everybody had to re-interview because it's open up new Montbello. You know, you have to re-interview because it's a new school, and you know, some people, there's a couple reapplying tax staff. One's reapply and know that they let you know you have to do this because protocol. But don't worry about it, good. There's another, you have to reapply for your job. Mine was, you got to reapply for your job. They pushed my job out there nationwide. So they pushed it out there where anyone, any other 50 states or whatever, could come and apply this job, which no one did. And if they did and they walked in there, they didn't like, what is this? Never seen nothing like this in my life. On the out is their own place in the United States that does anything like this that had, you know, happened with our co-op and stuff. But there was no one else that applied from our state. That's the way it was. So, but I had to reapply, and I had to really reapply. Whereas you got some people, they wouldn't reapply, but they already had their job. So right there alone, myself was okay, what's going on? Really, when that was, it was like, there's more to it than me saying, you know, I was like, that's stupid. I've been around a long time.
Thank you for clearing that up. Thank you for clearing that up for us, for me. Thank you, Coach Lindsay, so much for like sharing the story, and like all like the ways that you are impacting students and things like this. And we'd like to ask you a question or two questions. The first is, what's next for you? Like knowing that you still have this, of course, love for football, for youth, for all things community. What are you planning to do next?
Coach football. God only knows. But I'm going to coach football. Well, I don't know, but I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, that's my calling. It's my purpose. So there's someone out there that wants to win. There's someone out there that wants their kids to come up and be mentored by my coaching staff and be loved by us too. So that's what we offer. Proof is in the pudding.
I love
And
that.
there's always kids out there that need that. Wherever it may be, there's kids everywhere that need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that too, Kevin. That's exactly right. Would you think about like moving to a different state, or you want to stay here in the Denver
Oh
metro
no, I'm
area?
not moving nowhere. I'm too old.
Yeah.
I'm too old to be moving anywhere. I'm good right here in my neighborhood, and I'm good.
That's right.
Good.
That's right.
I'm not moving nowhere. So, and there's plenty of kids out here that need.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well,
That
yes.
is unfortunately the truest thing.
Mhm.
And you've been talking, you've been saying the truth the whole time, Coach. So more truth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just real though. I'm just real, and I don't hold back. Like I said, that's why it took me so long, because sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. But once you sit back there and think about it, it's like, there's the truth hurts. It probably does, but grow up and deal with it. Do
That's
something
right.
about it.
That's
What I'm
right.
saying? Do something about it.
That's right.
Yeah. So, okay, that's awesome. We're glad to hear that. Glad you're not leaving us here. And for sure, we're definitely, we're going to definitely connect back with you and find out like where you end up, what school, what community definitely was fortunate enough to have you as their coach and have your crew as a part of their athletics department. And then, so the next question I want to ask, we want to ask is like, how can community support you right now? What do you need, or what would you like community to do to support you as you're moving forward?
I would love the community to support me, to support themselves, support our community, stand up. It has nothing to do with me. Like, as a coach, I'm going to go and coach, and I'm going to coach where I am going to coach somewhere. But our community needs to stand up and know that they have more power than they think. They have more power, and our community needs to get together, and they need to let them know what they want. And the way they do that is you get enough numbers. Numbers count. Everybody sit there and they call in and text in, oh, I'm sorry. Then show you're sorry. Not for me. Let's strengthen our community. Community, strengthen up. Go in and just like ask, demand what you want. That's what they do at Cherry Creek and all the rest of them. That's why they're like they are. Our community just kind of sits out here and let things go on that we don't know about. And we like, wow, okay. No, And all you have to do is come together and go and say, this is what we want. And that's the truth. I want community to get strong. That's what I want. And demand what they want. These are their kids. This is their community. Demand that you want the best for your kids. And you go do it. You do it in groups. You go do it as a community and see what happens. That's what I see.
That's
my
so
63
important.
years, that's what I've seen.
I love that. I mean, I think that's the way it has to be, and I think for us to get involved, and you said something so true, is that we feel like we don't belong in those spaces, right? Or that we don't know. Well, we have the chance to go and learn, and everybody, starts with a day one. So I think your day one is go to a school board meeting to get involved, know what's going on in the community.
Yes. Go down there, and you go down there in the group, man. You go in there. How many people we have out in this community? We have thousands.
Yep.
Get 100 of them to go down there to one of those meetings. See what's up.
That's right.
Get 100.
That's right.
Oh, I'm telling you, the numbers, and get more than that. Let's, like I said, hey, let's get together instead of us sitting fighting about little crazy stuff. Let's get together and be a community and help each other. You help each other. I'm not just sitting here talking to the black parents and all. I'm talking to all the parents. Who are we kidding? You don't have to be football player because of the football coach. No, because of our community.
That's right.
The soccer, the basketball. You understand something with me. I will go and watch all of them. I love all of that. I love our whole school to win. I want everybody to win. When football goes, it's so funny to me. Football starts it. And if you get them to win, then the rest of the coaches and the rest of the teams, they want to win too, because they want to do the same thing. That's what happened at South. Our basketball team with them, our baseball team with, it was exciting to see all that happen. And that was putting all these teams together, and one pushing the other to be good. And you know what? The school inside was good.
It was thriving.
Good. Just to be inside there, everybody was loving each other and just happy about it. And that's how it's supposed to be out here. And we didn't even have a community in South. Like I said, they thought we were refugee camp people and all that crap. Mm-hmm. But inside, and we were as one. Well, we need to be as one in this community out here.
Yeah.
That's what I want. It's nothing about me, Tony. Hey, I'm good. I'm taken care of. I want our community to be strong, so we can all walk around here like, and feel like we're part of this and we're part of all that, what's going on out here, and thrive. Our kids don't want to leave from out here, because when we came up, man, I don't care where you lived, wherever it is you live, that's what was up. You didn't leave out. You were going to Manual or you were going to TJ. You were all about that. When they didn't have the busing, you were all about your community. I don't care if you were sorry, you're going to stay here. I am not going to another school. This is my community. I'm going to take care of my school because it's our community. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
Oh, it's real. Been through it, and being, like I said, and it is the truth. And the minute they understand how much power they have, then they'll have more say so on how they want it ran.
That's
and then
right.
they'll feel better about where they're living at, and have pride about where they're living at. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of this group's over here and this group's over here and this group's over here. Now, what about this one big group? And see how powerful you guys are. Then you start taking care of each other. Start caring about each other more. You see, when they split these schools up like that, that's what happened to our kids.
Yep.
Understand, our kids split it, and they thought about you. You got to think about this, y'all. When you did that, all of a sudden these kids are in these different schools, and over the years they start developing. Okay, this is our school, and you talking about having gangs. Okay, Now they split 1 or 2 gangs up into 6 because now they got this one at this school. Now they got this gang at this school. Then they got this gang at this school. Man, what the heck have you guys done? You split the kids up, and the kids are battling against each other because they're rivals. But it's not a good rival. It's a bad rival. It's a bad rival in where you're going out shooting each other and doing things like that. The people didn't think about that. That's set up to fail. It is.
It is.
Yes, it is. So they can say what they want, but like I said, when I say they, the ones that don't live out here.
That's right.
Because you lived out here, you wouldn't go back and want to do anything to hurt your community like that.
That's right.
You don't live out here.
Well, Coach Lindsay, thank you so much again for coming on. Is there anything else that you just want to leave the people before we wrap up? We want to make sure you get to enjoy your New Year's Eve with your family and your loved ones. But just anything else you want to say to people before we wrap up?
No, it's just that I enjoyed you all, and I enjoyed expressing myself, and just telling where I am and the truth about it, and that God is good, and everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. I really do. It was important, for me to just talk, because it's therapy for me too, because all I do is think about my kids.
Yes.
That's it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And it's clear that you deeply care for your kids and your community. And I just want to, and on behalf of Asia, just thank you for your service to all of the communities that you've been a part of, and to to your kids, because I know that means so much. And we can often ignore the role of a coach in a community, but the coach is really important. And I think anybody who spent time in a school community knows and can deeply respect the work that you do and just how you've shaped so many young lives.
Right. And I appreciate that. And you all, with this going on, I can tell you I've had hundreds of kids get in touch with me from, like I said, from back in the 90s and stuff, and show so much love. You don't think about when you're coaching and you coaching as long as I have, you just keep rolling. You just keep rolling through them, the next. And then you sit back and something like this goes on. It's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? It's wow. I got so much love. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying?
That's the blessing. That's the blessing.
It is
so much a blessing to me. So I've definitely been blessed, and I'm still gonna be blessed, and I'm gonna bless us. You know what? When you get stuff like blessings like this, you give them. You give them.
That's right.
And so with me being blessed on what I have and what my coaches bring to these kids and all that, that's our blessing. That's what we're giving back. The Lord gives us these, and you're supposed to give back. And that's what we're doing. And the more you give back, the more you get. So it's going to be okay. I know it is. It's because we're giving. We're doing what we're supposed to do. The rest of them need to catch on to that. And they'll understand and know it's the truth. When you do, things are happening good for you. If you don't, it's going to catch up with you. And you're going to be you'll be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So we're blessed, and you guys are blessed too. And I appreciate you, and appreciate everyone that's listened.
Yes. Well, Asia.
Yeah.
Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, that's it for me. I'm feeling complete today. In the words of Dr. Janice Mackey, I'm for sure feeling complete. Thank you so much, Coach Lindsay.
You're welcome. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you.
Let me say my story before I go. So let it go.